Hi, welcome back to another segment of Veterans Did You Know? And today, Dave Eling, I'm the Director of the Muskegon County Department of Veterans Affairs, and today I'm with Norris Ellis, so on my right here, and Jesse Mikelse on my left, and these gentlemen are Veteran Employment Specialists. And their jobs is to, number one, get the veteran when they come home, find them what their needs are, help them get a resume put together, help them find a job, and then the other part is to go out and contact the employers and make them aware of all the benefits there are of hiring a vet. And so it's a very important job that they have, and unfortunately there's more veterans than there are jobs out there right now, so it's pretty tough, and their job can be hard, but they reach out, especially you employers sitting out there. If you're a veteran employer, you got to kind of remember, take care of our own here and get them back. And for you non-veteran employers, these men and women have all been trained, they've all gone through the military, they know discipline, they're good workers, they show up on time. It's not like, oh, I don't want to go to work today. That doesn't happen in the military, believe me. If it does, you're not there for very long. So these are individuals who are highly motivated and really need to go to work. And I think we owe them this. I'm not seeing preferential treatment, but I think they do deserve preferential treatment. And there are some incentives out there if you hire a vet and if you train them. Isn't that right? If as an employer. So what advantage if I'm an employer and I want to hire, I got a couple of jobs over here, and I said, well, I'll try a couple of vets when I talk to you, Norris, what are you going to sell me on, or what are you going to give to me?
One of the first things that I try to emphasize to an employer, when you hire this vet, first of all, this veteran is used to working as a team. Mm-hmm. So teamwork. Secondly, he is used and accustomed to following instruction. So he knows how to follow instruction. And third, that veteran, in many cases, have been used to working with and on machinery that costs way up in the thousands, even millions of dollars. Yeah. So,
and they show up on time.
Absolutely.
You do not sleep in.
They are prompt. Those are just some of the regular attributes, but you also have you have certain tax credits that is afforded to the vet, to the employer for hiring a veteran. So there's quite an incentive to look at that veteran and get ready to hire him.
So you're saying that if I decide I have a slot open up and I got 3 people standing here, one happens to be a veteran, this individual might be eligible for training money, that if I hire them, I'm going to get a tax break, or I'm going to be if I help train them a little bit?
Absolutely. Tax credit. In many cases, you got what you call OJT money, on the job training. Mm-hmm. Can pay up to 50% of that veteran wages for hiring him.
Yeah, I know when I first got out of the military, I ran an employment training program in Texas, and that was one of the incentives back in the old JTPA Act, was hardcore unemployed vets and specially disabled vets and Vietnam vets. And I could go to the employer and say, look, if you'll hire this vet, for up to 6 months of his working with you, we can reimburse you up to half of their salary. I think it was up to $10 an hour or something like that, or whatever it was, for training them. And I said, many employers would come to us and say, well, I just want somebody who's going to show up, and so I'll show them how to do the job. I said, well, here you go. Here's a chance for you to train this individual how you want him trained, and you get half his money back for him for doing it. And they said, well, let me try one of those vets. So I sent him one. It worked out so well. I said, you got any more of those? And the 3rd year into my program, before I moved and came back up home here, I had all my slots filled. The employers were coming to me and saying, I want 2 or 3, I want 4 or 5, because it worked out so well. Then they really appreciated the skills that the veteran had, the work ethics that they had, and the trainability. And that's the whole thing. You can train a vet to do anything. You can train them, and they will learn and pick up and go with it because they got there. So that was a great program. So those programs are back now. So if an employer wants to come and hire somebody, there may be some training money out there, and there may be reimbursed for just hiring them and whatever else. So again, if your employer's out there, you need to pick up the phone and call either one of these gentlemen here, and they'll come out to your place of business and sit down and talk with you, bring you all the paperwork, and show you how easy it is to hire a vet and then be proud that you got the veterans on your workforce. I guarantee you got a number of them that are on your force already, and a lot of vets probably don't go around bragging that they're vets. They should. They might wear a cap at your place, I don't know, but they're probably some of your better employees, if you got them out there and stuff. So what else is happening with vets then that's out there? We were talking briefly about in a break, too, about agriculture. We were kidding around about the farmer stuff.
But I want to get back to the incentive for hiring veterans. Okay. Because under that Vow to Hire Heroes Act, the new one, okay. From November 20, if you have a veteran that becomes employed from November 22nd, 2011 till January 1st, 2013, under the new Vow to Hire Heroes Act, the Work Opportunity Tax Credit If they're simply or I should say simply, if they are a veteran, it's up to a $5,600 tax credit you can get. If they are a disabled veteran, they've raised the bar up to $9,600.
Wait a minute. If I already hired the guy,
even if you've already hired them, as
back
long as
to November.
Yep, you have that. Yeah, from November 22nd, 2011, till January 1st, 2013.
So employers, you get that. So if you've already got a vet that you've hired, thank you for doing that. But look back at the start date, and if it's after that date, this individual may be eligible for anywhere from $5,000 to $9,000 for you to do that as a tax credit. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
And there's no limit to the amount of
veterans you hire.
To tax credits you can claim.
Wow.
You could claim 1. You could claim 100.
Yeah. So if you're in a mode to be hiring or even thinking about it, here's something to go ahead and start that process of hiring somebody, because this individual, you're going to get some big bucks back for him, and you're going to get a good employee. You're going to get a good employee. Anything new else happening? What else we want to cover?
We were talking about a vet-to-egg program during the break.
Yep.
And I'm not an expert on it by any means.
On farming?
On the vet-to-egg farming too.
As a kid, I picked beans, I picked strawberries, I picked all that stuff. I said, I learned right then. I said, I'm not going to do this for a living, because
I'm good at growing weeds.
That's right.
I can grow weeds, and I can kill a lawn.
Yeah. But, so well, we were talking about that. The farmers are getting smaller and smaller because they're going to these huge farms, and we even kid around about getting 40 acres of land or homesteading or whatever else, but there is actually some kind of a program they're looking at, or they're looking into.
There is a program that's in play right now, and it's called the Vet-to-Egg program. The program is really designed for homeless or near homeless veterans to participate in, and it's what it is. It's a 9-week class that is spent 50% in the classroom and 50% in the field. Literally.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. But in the field, operating equipment, learning about the dirt, learning about the environment.
Yeah, you said so, hauling hazardous materials and chemicals and fertilizers and all that kind of jazz. Yeah.
And going through the program, you can have the opportunity to obtain your CDL, but you also have the opportunity to get your chemical certificate, so you can handle chemicals. Well, and that can do 2 things for you. 1, it sets you up to maybe go into business for yourself, or to go out and market your ability to a farmer or to a landowner and say, look, I have these skills now, I'm trained, and instead of just me going out and operating some equipment, this is what I also can do for you.
And that's a CDL with a hazmat endorsement.
And CDLs are the driver's license that you can drive the big trucks, the big rigs, and a lot of the guys in the military took driving. I mean, they had to drive. A lot of guys had vehicles, or all kinds of vehicles. Not so much in the Navy, especially on the ships, because you had to hit those brakes at the end because go at the end. But when you got on land, they did have vehicles for you to drive and stuff. So there's a lot of guys who are heavy equipment operators and already have that military thing, but not thinking about getting that CDL. And I understand now MCC has a 6-week program. I
believe that's what it is.
That's licensing, and that you get that CDL at the end of the program. That's covered under the GI Bill now. No. So if you're out there and you had some driving experience, you're unemployed as a veteran, you might want to look into this. Here's 6 weeks you can invest. You come out with the availability to be a truck driver, and they can make some money. There's some jobs out there for truck drivers, right?
Another really interesting program that's out there right now too, and this is Lansing Community College did this. They took it upon themselves for their nursing program. What can we do for the medics that are getting out of the military? And what they have done is, it took quite a bit of law and all these rules and paperwork, to my understanding. But when you come out, if you come out of the military as a medic and you're looking to pursue your degree, get into that RN or the healthcare degree, Lansing Community College will take a look at your military background and literally knock off the first 2 years required for the program. You don't have to sit there and wait for a slot to open up. They will make a slot for you to continue on. 2 years, you have your license.
Well, all these guys in the military, and people don't realize this, Navy and Air Force especially, these are all your tech schools were accredited, through the Community College of the Air Force, Community College of the Navy, and these men and women come out, and especially these guys coming out of combat, they've seen stuff that most emergency room physicians haven't seen and dealt with as enlisted individuals. And they have this high level of training and a high level of performance. And yeah, like I said, to come back and sit through 2 years of preliminary stuff that they are so far beyond that. But it's great that somebody's recognizing that also. And I think a lot of the military, we had so many people are being saved through the military now. We never had a quad amputee survive ever until this war, and I think we've had 5 now. The first one we ever had, I came here to Muskegon. I got to meet a young man. A quad means he lost both legs and both arms and survived, because usually they would have bled out, they lost it. But it was a military, all people in the military trained as basic first aid. The buddy system, you're going to save your buddy, you go down, you know what to do to save their life, put the tourniquets on, all that you have to be doing. So if you got a medical background, you kind of like that a little bit, and what you're doing, there's a course to look into and stuff.
Yeah, in Lansing Community College, it's a great course. You can call up, they'll send you all the information you want. But yeah, think about that too. With that, if you're going to use your GI Bill to continue on for school, and you don't have to pay for that first 2 years, well now think of what you can do.
Yeah.
Now in 2 years, you can have your 4-year degree,
and then take advanced beyond that.
And then take advanced. Go on for a master level.
Wow, cool. We'll take another short break here. We'll be back in just a few minutes, so stay tuned with it. Got some more good information here for you.